step back and watch the step cook.
You own 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. Hit my line if you own 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you own 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds. I know a guy if you own 17 birds. Big ring, I play for the 17 birds.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. So, listen, this video was brought to you by Manscaped. Big Manscaped in the building, providing you nothing but the best, the latest and greatest cutting-edge technology to keep today's man groomed. Use code Brunson, save 20% off, get the free shipping, and the free shipping I fought for that for y'all. So let's talk about, what more could this team possibly need? We talk about the acquisition of Jaquiski Tartt. We talk about, A.J. Brown. We talk about the draft that brought Jordan Davis to the centerfold. We talk about the draft that brought in a guy like Nakobe Dean. You talk about Kaiser White. You talk about Hassan Reddick. You talk about just the James Bradbury. Come on, it's so much talent that this team has gotten overnight that you can often forget about it. But are we done? Would you say we're a complete team? I think there's some things that the Philadelphia Eagles still can do to enhance their chances of, getting to an NFC championship game or even the Super Bowl if you play your cards right and if your quarterback continues to show development. Let's talk about Jalen Reagor. Should Jalen Reagor still remain a Philadelphia Eagle, after this upcoming season? Is there even really a realistic chance at this point in Jalen Reagor's tenure for him to get a contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm going to say no. I think that the partnership or the relationship between the first-round wide receiver and the organization and the fans is what's most important. And all three of those things aren't perfectly fitting together right now. For instance, you drafted Jalen Reagor. You still knew you needed to draft another first-round talent the very next year in Devontae Smith. You do that. You still feel like you need somebody to help Devontae Smith now. Mind you, Reagor is still on the roster. So you go out there and get A.J. Brown. Reagor went through a lot of off-season stuff, off-the-field stuff, nothing negative. He had a death of a close friend. So he wasn't really there for, the OTAs and stuff like that. And I feel like he's a player that really, really needed that. You're talking about a guy that averaged 17 yards a game as a starting wide receiver in the National Football League. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it, man. You know what I mean? Quez Watkins outperformed them. So, I really don't know what's really going to come of Reagor. What do you expect from Reagor this season? Obviously, he's going to play. Obviously, he's going to be on the roster. But you can't have a guy making that much money be on a practice squad. You can't have a guy making that much money not play. So I think they're going to force feed him the ball to try to see if he can, get into a different role. Maybe the lights were too bright for him. Maybe he's a natural role player. Maybe he'll thrive as that fourth option at wide receiver, because that's where I currently have him. So, I think the best thing for Jalen Reagor moving forward is for the organization to just send him somewhere to where he can, play and he can get from, under whatever's, what's over top of him in terms of, just mental confidence at this point. The Philadelphia Eagles been kind of linked to Kareem Hunt. A lot of experts say that the Philadelphia Eagles should pursue, another move for another running back. Kareem Hunt is a dynamic running back, the perfect complement to every running back on the roster, or Kareem Hunt arguably could be the best running back on the roster. Probably will be the best running back on the roster if you bring him into the situation and bring some competition in for Miles Sanders. Kareem Hunt has proven to make big plays. Kareem Hunt has proven to be, a great system running back that can also play alongside another great running back. We saw it happen in Cleveland for a number of years. So do we feel like the Philadelphia Eagles need another running back? I don't think you need another running back, but a running back as good as Kareem Hunt behind this offensive line could really take your team over the top. Something to think about, especially if Miles Sanders continues to show, little nagging injuries here and there. Now, Kareem Hunt ain't been 100% healthy his whole career either. But, it's good to have more than one guy who can shoulder the load or be that bell cow that can get you, the 17 carries a game, stuff like that. So I like the Kareem Hunt scenario. I really do. In other news, there's been some talks about Jordan Davis potentially playing on the goal line in an offensive position. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have, kind of experimented with this. They asked Doug Peterson this a while ago, and I believe they asked Nick Sirianni this as well. Would you consider giving Jordan Mailata some carries from a goal line standpoint? They kind of both laughed it off, and it kind of never happened. But, with Jordan Davis, it's a real possibility that they might bring him back, in that position as, a lead blocker or guy. I don't see him carrying the ball. I see him being more of a lead blocker. If you're going to need a big man to carry the ball, it would definitely have to be Mailata with his rugby experience. But if you bring Jordan Davis in on the goal line, it would have to be as a lead blocker because the kid can move bodies. The kid can create holes where there's not any holes there. So I'm not fully against that plan. But if you wanted to ask me, what's the major need for the organization right now? What's the major need for the football team right now? I gotta go with edge rusher. You can never have too many competent edge rushers, and the Philadelphia Eagles need to identify who's going to be the guy shouldering the load from these positions. Hassan Reddick is going to rush off the edge quite a bit. You have Brandon Graham coming back nursing an injury. You don't really know what's the situation with the headspace and Derek Barnett, or even if he's going to make the roster. And it's safe to say that Josh Sweat just getting the extension last year is going to make this roster. I think you need another proven edge rusher. You know what I mean? Another proven edge rusher. And I think you pretty much solidified this defense. Jaquiski Tartt was a really big acquisition. A lot of people don't know what he really brought to the table for that San Francisco defense, but a lot of people do know. The smart ones know. Like Jaquiski Tartt and Kaiser White are very, very, very underrated moves. Very underrated moves made by a team that's trying to make strides into getting the job done. Listen, you can't be mad at an organization like the Philadelphia Eagles if the number one priority for them is to get over the hump and to put talent around talent. They're doing their job, so we got to do our job in terms of, supporting and, getting ready for training camp ourselves. There's not going to be a lot to talk about. We covered most bases, but we're going to keep things fresh and keep things innovative, There's still possibilities that moves can be made. You know what I mean? There's still possibilities that teams are looking to join, a great roster of guys that's coming together. There's been reports that, cornerback Trey Waynes has, he almost joined the Philadelphia Eagles. But I'm glad he didn't because we got James Bradbury instead. I think we would have settled with that had we would have got him probably on a cheaper deal. But we took Bradbury 1 year, $10 million. That's how much we think of James Bradbury. So, the division is in trouble. That's the bottom line. The NFC East, they're not going to know what hit them until it really hit them. And, we ready to hit them and we ready to make some noise, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Another video probably coming today or probably a live Q&A. I want to talk to y'all, see how y'all feeling. Training camp starts late July. So we got some time. We got some time to figure some things out, man.